Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Finally. Been a crappy week, I'll tell you that. Jeez. Be glad to see it at an end. Has this been a bad week for you too, Jeffy? Because we didn't see much of you this week. No, it's been great.
No.
Yeah, the rolling blackout's good for you.
We had power on and off every hour.
Every once in a while, power. What do you want? You
days.
don't want the power to go on continually, do you?
We are under a boil water order.
Yes, us too.
So I mean, it's been a great week.
Yeah, wonderful.
Great week.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, as of right now, no pipes have burst.
They have at my house. They have at my house.
Feeling pretty good.
Good.
As far as that is concerned.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations. You still have to boil your water, Keith?
No, sir.
Oh, nice.
If we do, then whoops, because I'm not.
Because you're
anymore.
not? Oh, okay. I guess ours lasts until Sunday.
Yeah, my wife said ours is until Sunday. We can still take showers and stuff, but we're not supposed to
drink it or use it for
it. Has been tasting funny, so.
Has it?
You're
maybe
fine.
I should,
Did it taste like poop?
It tastes like, well, I don't know what poop tastes like necessarily.
Yes, you do.
No, it's just been the water pressure has been the biggest issue here.
Yeah.
But we did go through that water boiling period. But maybe we should, just to be safe, huh? Now you got me worried. Thanks a lot.
Well, yeah. It hasn't been lifted for us. I don't know about you guys. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. I guess about 40 today, which is going to help a lot.
Yes, it will.
But then when the pipes unfreeze in some people's houses,
Don't worry about it.
then you might discover, pipes did burst. Huh, that's weird.
It may be a good idea to shut that water off prior to the thaw.
It might. Or at least have it ready to turn off at the main. You got the key all set to turn that thing off.
Yeah. Yesterday, we got up to 32.
Yeah.
And people thought, okay, we're out of the woods. And I was seeing alerts that, we got one more night of this hard freeze, so you better not rest or you might have an issue with your pipes in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're down to 10 degrees right now. So we're dripping. We're dripping our faucets. So hopefully everybody else is too.
Yeah.
But by the way, you know how we had that picture of the parking garage in Dallas yesterday with the car with the pipe that exploded above it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was yesterday.
Right.
Jeez.
But somebody sent us an even better one from Galveston.
All right.
Do we have that one where the vehicle is in the parking garage? And look at this, dude.
Nice.
Oh man.
That is.
Jeez.
We'll see you in March.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Nah, we'll see it on Sunday.
It's going to be 74
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Yeah,
74!
it's like it never happened.
That's 74 degrees warmer than it was the other day. Or the other night. So that's crazy. I mean, that's more typical of Texas weather this time of year.
Yes.
It's more likely to be 74 than it is 14, that's for sure. And, I do know this shouldn't happen in Texas. Even if we do get extreme cold, we shouldn't have to go through what we just went through.
Well, but they were kind enough to turn the power on every hour.
Well, in some cases,
hour.
for some people weren't quite that fortunate. They've been out of power in some cases all week.
Yeah, my son was out of power in Austin. I mean, they just nothing for about 3 days.
And I love the fact that the left is mocking Texas, the energy state that has no energy, while ignoring the main cause of it, which is the dopey wind and solar bull crap that we have to put up. We have to put up with it. And for some reason, in Texas even, and it's not reliable energy. It's not reliable. The wind turbines freeze. The solar panels get snowed on. And then you lose that energy. So, if anything, this should show that the right has been correct all along.
Well, yeah. I mean, we found that out in California. Remember, they had said when they were having the blackouts that the power company on the solar panels were like, we just needed a couple more hours of daylight, and we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay. So if we could just control the sun,
we didn't realize it was going to be nighttime.
the Earth rotation, we can now control that. All right, that's pretty interesting. Also amazing is Ted Cruz in Cancun and the beating that poor guy is getting. Wow. He has, of course, apologized.
I hope so.
Yeah, profusely.
And after a couple of days, after the girls being really cold, it being in the teens and the 20s outside, our girls said, look, school's been canceled for the week. Can we take a trip and go somewhere warm? And Heidi and I, as parents, we said, okay, sure. And so last night I flew down with them.
I can't believe it. You hypocrite.
To the beach.
That's what they're calling him, a hypocrite.
Yeah.
For what? Did he ever say, hey, Texans, don't go to Cancun because it's cold. Stay here. Is he forcing people to stay while he goes? That would be hypocrisy.
Well, a couple of things. There's no phone service, I don't think, in Cancun. So if someone wanted to call him and say,
okay, hey,
Ted, what do you think?
We know you have an important U.S. Senator decision to make that doesn't involve what's going on right now.
Seriously, that's the thing. He's not the governor fleeing the state.
If it was Greg Abbott, you can understand it. Okay, he makes the decisions for the state. If it's a mayor of a locality, it's okay. The mayor is involved in these decisions.
Yeah.
He's a U.S. Senator. What do you want him to do?
But he should not have apologized.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't have.
And then I flew back this afternoon. I had initially planned to stay through the weekend and to work remotely there. But as I was heading down there, I started to have second thoughts almost immediately because the crisis here in Texas, you need to be here on the ground. And as much as you can do by phone and Zoom, it's not the same as being here. And so I returned this afternoon, and I'm here working to make sure to do everything we can to get the power turned on. But
Okay, so
what is that?
I don't
what's
know.
different?
I don't know.
Making sure that we have the power turned on here,
Seriously,
than making sure we have the power turned on in Cancun. What's different for him?
And what is he going to do to ensure the power is turned on?
Oh, he's going to make a phone call.
Hey, turn the power back on. I don't care if it goes offline completely. Turn it back on right now. I mean, he can't make that decision. The governor can't even make that decision.
Yeah. Right.
So, what was he supposed to do? Just, I guess, because he didn't stay and suffer with his constituents.
Right.
That's terrible. Exactly. It's just like liberalism.
Ridiculous.
If we're not all suffering together, then we're going to hate the people that are successful. I mean, he was smart enough to go to a warm climate, and he's hated for it.
Get out while he could.
That's all this is.
He got out while he could.
Yeah, and why not? I said yesterday, if I could have packed up the family and gone to Cancun, I would have done that. Rather than be here in this, it's been miserable.
But you're a talk show host, Pat. You have to come in and talk about how bad it is.
Right.
Why aren't you here telling us how bad it is?
So stupid.
Stupid.
And to apologize is even more ridiculous.
That is the saddest thing of all.
The left doesn't care. He doesn't have to apologize to us. We understand he didn't do anything wrong. The left doesn't care that he apologizes because there's no second chances for that from them.
Doesn't matter.
There's no redemption from them.
Fact,
there's no forgiveness from them.
That puts more blood in the water.
Yes. They just see you as wounded.
Yeah.
And now they're going to come after you even harder.
Yep.
See, he's admitting he did wrong. That's all it means to him. And so look out.
Well, the reason he had second thoughts is because he saw the people on the plane taking pictures of him. And he knew, oh my gosh, this is going to be in the press. I think the lesson that Ted Cruz learned in all of this is that get a charter flight. No one will see you at the airport, man. You got to sneak out that way on the tarmac. Seriously, that's the only reason that he's back here. And that's the only reason this is a story is because people saw him on the plane and shamed him on social media. And then he had to turn around and come back and leave his poor family that's down there on a vacation without their father, all because of the shame culture that we live in. It's so insane.
All the other people going to Cancun.
Yes, thank you, Jeffy.
Right. Yeah, but a U.S. senator shouldn't be going to Cancun, not at the same time as we are. How dare he? Why isn't he in Texas? Freezing cold right now. He should be freezing to death in his home without power.
If I'm Ted Cruz, I'm showing up at a soup kitchen today, and I'm going to say, put this on social media.
Which they won't.
No way.
Of course not. Nope.
He's just trying to make up for going to Cancun.
Yeah.
That's all they'd say. There's just no way around it. You know, you're just going to get bludgeoned for the next 3 weeks. They hate Ted anyway.
Right.
And this just gives them, I guess, an excuse to hate him even more, which doesn't make any sense because, again, didn't do anything wrong. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, not at all. They were able to pivot off of hating Rush Limbaugh and dancing on his grave to hating on Ted Cruz. And that's just what they do. They find a new target. And if you have an R after your name, you are always inside the scope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, it's been a tough week for his constituents. But I don't know that him staying here suffering with all of us does anything for me.
I would have felt better.
Would you have?
I would have felt better.
Yeah, if you knew that Ted Cruz is shivering in his living room just like you are, you would have felt better about the week.
I would have felt better. In the hours that I didn't have any power, when they rotated off,
right,
I would have felt better knowing that Ted Cruz was back
Ted's
here.
right there too.
Yeah.
Good. Because a lot of times I'll sit and think, I bet Ted Cruz has power right now and I don't. That bastard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He has power right now because he's at a hotel in Cancun. Bastard. If only he didn't have power like I don't have power.
That's seriously.
Dang it.
That's seriously how the left
That's how they think.
Yeah. They want to know.
It is.
Exactly. They want to make sure that you are suffering as much as they are. At least.
Yeah. That's great. It's fantastic. When they should be concentrating on their stupid president who is just showing signs of racism once again and mental degradation. Because how do you stand there and say the things he says and act like you didn't say anything wrong? It's just unbelievable to me.
I know.
It is unbelievable. Check out Joe Biden talking about...
this is at that CNN town hall with Anderson Cooper.
Right.
And they're talking about minorities getting the vaccine. Here's what happened.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens.
Yeah, it is complicated. It's complex. It's a complex problem. How do I get online? I've only had about 26 years experience with this. I still don't understand the process. What is that AOL thing again? Is that like the on-ramp to the internet superhighway thing? Well, it's like an on-ramp to the freeway, right?
Right.
And the internet is the super freeway.
Well, it's there. It's a super freeway if you're white.
Okay. But if you're black, obviously you're not online.
Well, if you're Hispanic or you're African American in the rural areas.
Or the inner
city areas.
So either in the city or out of the city.
Right. You can't figure it out.
If you're a minority, you're too stupid.
Figure it out.
Seriously, man.
I mean, also, those people don't have IDs. They can't drive because they don't have a driver's license. I'm not joking. They literally can't operate a computer or find a way to get a license to present when they vote. No joke. I love them. I think that a lot of them are cute as a button. They're adorable. But we can't forget that they are butt stupid.
These are the racial inequities of the world.
How does he get away with this?
I don't know.
And remember, poor kids are just as bright as white kids.
White kids, something like that. Yeah. I mean,
This guy.
CNN apparently can't be bothered with outrageously racist comments of the most powerful man on earth. They're so busy leveling that charge against Donald Trump without an ounce of evidence that they apparently can't see the racism slapping him right in the face from this guy.
No kidding.
And it's not, it's not like this was the first time, right? How many times does he have to show his racist tendencies?
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy.
Storybook.
I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Doesn't happen, man. That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Or this.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not. You're actually a racist. I got that. You're not kidding around here. And let's not forget.
And by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know,
right?
Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
Sure. Can't get online, but they're
different
diverse.
Attitudes about different things.
Not blacks, though. Not blacks. Blacks don't. They all have the same attitude about everything, and so.
But they're equal to the Hispanics because they can't get online.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're just as stupid as the Hispanics are. Plus, there was this.
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Okay. So if those aren't racist quotes, what exactly are they? Amazing.
I ask you, what are they?
What are they? Yeah, what is that? That's not racism? All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about Keeps.com because you got a million reasons to be stressed out right now. Stressing out about male pattern baldness and receding hairlines. That doesn't have to be one of the things you're stressing about. The good news is Keeps can help. Keeps offers the same doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair loss treatment, but they have the generic version, so you pay about half the price. It's a great deal. And one more thing you'll love about Keeps, you just do it all online. You don't have to go to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor anyway. And so you don't have to bother with that. You just do this from the comfort and privacy of your couch. Answer a few questions, snap some pictures of your hair and post them online. And then a licensed doctor will review all your information. And then they'll ship the right hair loss treatment right to your door. So let's get you started with a special discount when you go to KEEPS, keeps.com/Pat. You'll get 50% off your first order of hair loss treatments. That's keeps.com/Pat for 50% off.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
I'm not joking. It's no joke. Minorities can't get online. That's why they can't get a vaccine. I mean, unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. It truly is. I mean, and
unbelievable.
I will say that at least people in the suburbs, I guess, whether you're black or Hispanic in the suburbs, you know how to get online, I guess.
I don't think any blacks or Hispanics live in the suburbs, do they?
Oh.
Yeah, they're just in the inner city.
Is that
and outer
the
city.
Rural?
Yeah, the rural areas. Yeah.
The outer.
Where's the Lumbee tribe? Where do they live? Are they?
I don't know. Because they're Native Americans.
Yeah.
He didn't really mention whether Native Americans can get online or not.
No,
we know they can now.
Yeah, some tribes can.
Fortunately, we paid, I think, about $20 million in tax revenue so that they could have the high-speed internet connection that they so richly deserve, that they like and needed. So
find where the Walgreens are located.
Right. Exactly.
Well, they got to figure out how to get online because they don't know how to get online to get in line to get the vaccination. So
see, there's too many steps. So I can't understand what he's saying now. Just so many steps.
Plus, even if they were there, they can't show you an ID. If you need to sign up for anything, they don't have IDs. So it's racist to ask them to have one for some reason. So they're screwed, I guess, with this virus.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And we found out that we're probably going to have a third vaccine now.
Why?
Well, because of the variants.
Oh, really?
The new variants, yeah, because the variants are, they're saying the variants may be up to 70 times deadlier than the original. So they're saying a third vaccine shot may be needed.
Oh, jeez. A third shot?
So
a third shot of the ones we already have, or do we have to develop a new one?
I think we have to develop a new one for the variants.
Okay, so you got Pfizer, you got Moderna. Those don't cover the variants? Do we know that for sure yet?
No, we
I don't think we do.
No, we don't. Because I think Moderna said, one of them said, yeah, we're pretty sure. And the other one said, we're not too sure. So,
Jeffy,
wow,
what kind of vaccine do you take? Because you stay relatively healthy.
God
knows what all is in you. And I'm just wondering, can we just find out what that is? And
the doc says, hey, we're going to give you this. And I say, okay. I don't know what they do.
Do you you don't get flu shots and stuff, do you? Or do you?
I haven't gotten one in quite a while.
Yeah.
But I have in the past. Yeah. I have in the past. I should actually, every time the last few times that I thought about getting it, I ended up being in the hospital, so it wasn't a good time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you took the flu shot and you wound
up
in the hospital?
When I was in the hospital, I thought, man, I should probably get a flu shot. And then they were like, no,
with your heart event or
your
kidney event, and then you had the liver situation, the gallbladder, the lungs. The gonorrhea.
Maybe I ought to think about
the syphilis.
I ought to think about some variant vaccines.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten one in quite a while. I'm not opposed to it, really. I just haven't gotten one in a while. And I'm becoming less and less excited about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Me too.
By the day.
I don't know what to do with that.
By the day. I get more like, you know what? No.
And they're asking Pfizer now, hey, is it possible that you could give people just the one shot? Because apparently that's really effective, just the one shot. And then the problems seem to occur after the second.
The second one?
Yeah, because it's, I guess, so much of the vaccine in you that it causes problems. But the first shot doesn't seem to. And it protects you pretty well, according to what they're saying now. So,
okay.
I don't know. You hear a million different things.
I know.
From people.
And no one knows for sure.
And then how many people have died? We talked about 2 just this week. And so I don't know if they died from the vaccine itself. But what was the situation with the one person that they said you'll have problems. If you have problems, it'll be in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, they make
minutes.
you wait for 15 minutes to see if there's any kind of reaction.
But he died after 20 minutes, and so they're like, yeah, that had nothing to do with the vaccine.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the percentages of the people that have passed away are pretty small, although you don't want to be in that percentage group.
No, you don't. That's very little comfort when you're
that guy was
coughing out your last breath.
There was another lady that it had happened in an hour after the shot, and they were like, nope,
but
nothing to do with us.
Right. Just a crazy coincidence. I can tell you how you eliminate any possible death from the vaccine is that you don't take it at all. That's how you avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
You just get killed by the virus itself.
Right.
That's the concern of people.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, I just don't get the vaccine, and then I won't have the problems. But then you're not immune to the disease.
Correct.
So.
And why are people so concerned about the virus itself is because of the hype that it receives.
Yes.
And we've talked about the percentage
more
of people
have died
who die
from the virus than the vaccine.
At this point, with the vaccine being, the virus had a year head start, Jeffy. So let's see what happens in a year and run the tally.
That's a happy thought. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you for all those who've been vaccinated so far. You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey, yesterday was a huge day. The Mars lander
landed
safely.
Yes, it did.
Really cool.
They were all happy about that bad boy landing yesterday because I think like 50% of the time. We talked about it last week. 50% of the attempts have been scrapped
on Mars. Yeah, that's true. Here was NASA monitoring the descent of the lander.
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane. About to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
Yeah. 7 minutes of terror.
As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started.
I love the double masks.
About 20 meters off the surface.
Really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to breathe the virus all over Mars now, too.
UHF is good.
Wait, these guys are on Earth, so...
Yeah, it goes through the mic.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, confirmed.
There it is.
There it is.
7 minutes of terror is over.
Of past life.
Yay!
At this point, the descent stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Autonomous Orbiter to Earth.
Now, you can kind of imagine why they're so jubilant when that happens. They've been working on this project for literally years. Yeah. They launched it, 7 or 9 months ago? And a million different things can go wrong. Like you said, 50% of the time it fails. They crash or it goes beyond Mars or ends up who knows where. And so you don't know if all this time and all this money and all your expertise directed at this one thing is even going to come to fruition. And then it finally does. That's got to feel pretty good.
There's no doubt about it.
I don't know when they're going to launch the helicopter, but that's going to be a cool event, too.
It's going to be really cool. I know you can follow it. They have a site, and if you're just in the suburbs, you can figure out how to get online and get to it. If you're in the city or in the rural areas, you won't be able to figure it out.
Well, the white people in those areas can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just go to the NASA .gov website, and they have Where Is Rover, and you can follow where it is on Mars, which is pretty kind of cool.
Okay. Now, for our minority friends, is there an AOL thing that they can slip into the little slot there and
you know what?
Find their way?
Like our president? Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that I believe him, but it appears that you might be too stupid to get online. So I mean,
we regret that, but
I don't want it to be so.
It may well be that you are just too stupid
to get online.
Yeah,
and, whatever it is, I don't know.
I mean, we can't help it. So
it's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
So we beat UAE to Mars?
Well,
we did. We beat the United Arab Emirates
to the surface. But they weren't planning on. Yeah, they weren't planning on landing. Right, the UAE.
I think China is though, right? Is China planning to land?
I don't think so. I think they were just orbiting. I think both of those were just orbiting.
Anybody can orbit, right? The United Arab Emirates can orbit.
We sent a helicopter. Okay.
Yeah, we got the fastest, strongest rover to ever rove on Mars.
Thank you.
And a helicopter.
Thank you.
So
I can't
write
that
down, boys and girls.
Yeah.
The fastest rover to ever rove.
Yeah.
That's America.
Well, on Mars.
On Mars.
Yeah.
On Mars. Yeah. That's some pretty special roving. When you can rove 160 million miles away, that's pretty serious.
You aren't lying, it is. With the Terrain Relative Navigation System, you're doing some business.
Yeah. All right, 888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Couple of tweets. This from Northwest BYU fan. Texas and the USA better learn fossil fuels are the only way to go after this mess. Fossil fuels are green energy from God's green earth.
Amen.
Yes.
I mean, we saw pictures of the windmills frozen, being de-iced by helicopters being powered by fossil fuels, being photographed by equipment made with fossil fuels. I mean, nothing explains it. It's just dumb.
Okay, you've got your facts. but really, Bette Midler told us that this.
Yeah, it's our fault, right?
Yeah, it's our fault. All right, Dr. Pidd, smallmouth bass Kurt. I don't care if Ted went to Cancun. I have a problem with him apologizing.
Amen.
Why did you even apologize? That's my problem as well. Yes. From Peekapool, the snarky jackhole Pokemon. Obviously, Ted should be in D.C. pimp slapping Schumer, Pelosi, and Biden until they come across with aid for Texas. From the Steve 42, Ted Cruz is the only person in Texas who can fix the frozen windmills.
Oh.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that.
Till now. Kevin Sullivan, there is nothing better than people doing nothing to help a situation chastising someone else for doing nothing.
Thank you.
People that are helping don't do that because they're too busy helping. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, we had a cracked pipe, and we had a company that actually made it to our house.
So they did come out?
They did.
Wow.
They made it yesterday.
For $8 billion?
I don't know. I was afraid to ask my wife what it turned out to be. Because they got there when I was still here. But they said that they're getting 200 calls an hour.
I believe that.
200 calls per hour.
They're going to be backed up forever.
And every time they go to a neighborhood, they're stopped by everybody else in the neighborhood trying to get them scheduled to come to their house. Right. So, yeah.
It's going to be ugly, and you're going to be backed up. Plus, the only saving grace is by making those appointments is that maybe, I don't know, 80% of those is going to be the plumber saying, ooh, I can't do anything until you get a contractor in here. So, I mean, I can shut off your water, but there's no point in me doing any plumbing until we get rid of these walls. I mean, there's going to be damage.
There's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Sammy Weiss, don't listen to anything they say about the coronavirus or the multiple strains. The numbers are going down, so the experts are going to try to hold on to anything to keep us afraid. That's a pretty good point. I think that every time they talk about the variants, because they're talking about the variants instead of the fact that week after week after week now, we've gone down a lot in infections and hospitalizations.
Which, by the way, we said we would.
Yep.
Just by the way that they count the numbers. But you still have, and we still have, federal buildings now double masking. I mean, they're still making it so it reaches out. They're saying that you won't need to have a vaccine to travel, right? If inside the U.S., but then you hear, well, maybe you will. And we're hearing about employees losing their jobs, saying they're losing their job because they wouldn't get the vaccine shot.
Yeah. If you're not sure about whether or not the vaccine is available in your area, and you're a minority, how are you going to find out? Because you're too stupid to get online.
There's no way to
So
know.
I was suggesting AOL, or if you probably don't have something as good as AOL, so you might try Alta Vista. Or Ask Jeeves. Look for Ask Jeeves. That's also an on-ramp to the internet superhighway.
Could you get that on your iPhone that you have in the rural or the inner city areas, or no?
Well, most of those people don't have cell phones, Jeffy. So I don't even like to talk about it because then they get super jealous. They're like, cell phones? What? People have those?
The thing is, they do.
They do?
They do.
Really?
You can check the coverage map, though.
Yeah, that's true. And, listening to Joe the other day, I didn't...
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African-American community, particularly in rural areas, distant or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store.
Yeah.
So you got a whole bunch of blacks and Hispanics sitting there at the computer going, what do I do? They don't know. They just don't know. Because I'm not sure if they even understand how to turn the computer on.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. So, I don't know. If you know of a minority in your area, in the inner city or the rural areas, maybe you could go over today and just offer to help them get online.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be
nice. Take them to the compact store.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And
remember those?
Yeah. And if they can't afford the AOL, because it's what, $17 an hour or something. I don't know. It's expensive. It's a lot.
Just for the first hour.
And then it's what, like 80 cents every hour thereafter, something like that. I don't know.
Depends on what CD you put into your computer,
right?
To get you online.
Now, Ask Jeeves, I think, is a little cheaper, and so is Prodigy. You might try
Prodigy
one of those.
Is definitely
Prodigy,
cheaper.
yes.
Prodigy is definitely cheaper. But Ask Jeeves, don't you have to actually be online to ask?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Well, again, you ask your white neighbor for help on how to get to Ask Jeeves.
You got to introduce them to Netscape.
Yes.
It's a whole different.
Right, whole different deal. Yeah.
But it's getting pretty confusing, man. And I mean, we already know that the Hispanics and African Americans in the rural, distant
or the urban areas
are too dumb.
Yeah, there's that sweet spot.
So
between rural and urban. This guy, and this is going to happen more and more, especially as he's losing his marbles.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to just start speaking his heart.
Wow, we know now that he's more of an early to bed kind of president.
Yeah, like 4 PM after he has the early bird brunch at
I freaking love
Golden
so much.
Golden Corral.
Yeah, I mean they all try to make it seem like, oh, he's unlike other presidents who, I don't know, worked late. He's early to bed. He's early to bed kind of guy.
Early to bed, late to rise would be my guess.
Jill, where the hell are we?
Ask her every day, where are we? I'm scared. I don't know where I am. Dr. Jill, where are we? She tells me we're in a White House. I didn't ask you what color it was. I asked you where we are. All right, let me tell you about Rough Greens. I've been talking about it for quite a while now. This is a powder that you sprinkle over your dog's food. It's really simple. And with that simple act, you're providing your dog with essential vitamins and minerals, probiotics, omega oils, basically all the things he or she needs to be healthy and really active. Most dogs love this stuff right out of the gate. Mine certainly did. Glenn's did. Stu's did. But I guess there are a few dogs who need a little bit of time to get used to it. So the first thing you want to find out is if your dog will eat it. Now, my dog won't eat her food without it. Unless we sprinkle the Rough Greens on top, she's like, not interested, sorry. So you can get a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out. All you pay is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, ruffgreens.com. That's roughgreens.com or call 833-RUFF-DOG.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-900-3393. Because Ted Cruz left the state, he wasn't around to save Stu's dog Milo, and tragedy almost occurred. Stu had to fend for himself. Thank you, Ted Cruz, for your quick trip to Cancun. You weren't there for Stu's dog or my pipe breaking, by the way. It wasn't Ted Cruz that went up into my attic yesterday. It was some other.
No, it was not.
Some other company that I had to hire that I guess specializes in that kind of thing when I was really counting on Ted to be doing it.
Show up.
And he didn't. But here's Stu saving his dog because Ted Cruz wasn't there.
Okay, so as you can see, Piper is walking out to the ledge.
Piper's got a brain, see?
And is smart enough to know this is ice and I shouldn't be on it.
And
All
yet,
right, so she's curious, but realizes,
This must
no,
be a Hispanic or
I'm not going to walk on this ice. And continues on her way.
Thank you, Joe
Now,
Biden.
You see Old Man River following the footsteps in the snow, and he's walking straight on to the ice.
Okay.
Has no idea he's on the pool, and at any moment, the ice could break.
Okay, but
And thank the Lord, at this moment, Stu happened to look out the door and saw this happening, and he's running out in his socks. I'm sorry to laugh, but
oh, I want that dog to
thank the
drop
Lord.
through the ice.
He redirects Miles and gets him off the ice immediately, but I can't help but laugh as Stu scurries him off the pool. Thank you, Jesus. This could have been a much worse situation.
Stu had to go out there in his socks.
Do it himself.
And do it himself because Ted Cruz was in Cancun. Bastard.
Do we know if Ted was in Cancun at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was either in Cancun or on his way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a real American hero, Stu there.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's doing the job that the U.S. Senator wouldn't.
Right.
You know, Ted Cruz being in Cancun is the reason Texans had to boil snow.
Yeah.
In order to get water.
He wasn't there to save our water supply.
To flush, yeah.
Right.
Do we have that video of the lady boiling her snow?
Oh,
so that we can flush their toilets?
Jeez. Well, what's wrong with that?
That's actually smart if you haven't filled up your tubs or anything.
Am I kidding?
Yeah.
We did that. I mean,
That's not the point, Jeffy. The point is Ted Cruz should have been there boiling it for them.
I'm sorry.
Right. Exactly right.
And you know what it is? Ted Cruz and John Cornyn are the reason why Texas got hit by this storm. Did you see the tweet from Bette Midler? I love how the left can invoke God.
Yeah. When it's convenient for them.
Right. When it's a punishment on something they don't like.
Right.
All the time.
But if it's the right invoking the name of God, then it's tragic. No.
What do you want to bet? That Bet doesn't even believe in God.
Oh, you can.
What do you want to bet?
That's probably documented.
I bet she doesn't even believe in God.
That's probably documented.
And then she tries to use God as a weapon and weaponizes him against Republicans. Oh, no. According to Eric Swalwell.
Oh, yeah.
According to Eric, here's what Eric Swalwell told us the other day. Mr. I slept with a spy for 2 years.
How we are even listening to this?
I don't know.
Do we chase those people, not knowing what they're going to say, to the courts for years, or do we go forward with a powerful, thundering case that we have, and also knowing that Mitch McConnell was already telling us that he believed the challenge was a jurisdictional one, so we could have called God herself, and the Republicans weren't going to be willing to convict. So we're proud of the case we put forward.
We could have called God herself. Such pandering. Such ridiculous pandering. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. And why is this guy out in front on this thing when he's got the Chinese spy situation that everybody knows about? Apparently it's not a problem when you sleep with...
He's already compromised.
When you sleep with a Chinese spy for 2 years, or however long it was with him and his Chinese spy significant other, that should be a problem.
Pat, what letter is after Swalwell's name? Is it a D or an R?
Yeah, it's a D. Okay. It's a D, so it's not a problem. Yeah, don't worry about it. We don't care.
No,
they seriously don't care. A sexual relationship, which he won't deny, so he had one with her,
right.
with an operative from a foreign country. That is enough to get you out of office in any other country on this planet, and it used to get you out of office in this country. But again, yes, if you have a D after your name, nobody cares. Nah, don't worry about it. Just amazing. I wonder if he still talks to Fang Fang. Do they still share recipes or catch up on what each other's doing right now?
Yes.
In their spare time, they do.
Yeah, that's what
they do still talk. Okay,
just text.
Good.
Just text. That's all.
You wouldn't want him to completely cut off any sort of communication with her. That would be really sad if he had to do that.
I mean, they were so close for so long.
Right.
You don't want to.
Right.
You don't want to mess up.
You don't want to just cut him off.
Right.
That would be too painful for him, and I don't want him to have to go through that.
He always texts her, "Hey, E here." Different phones, just to be safe.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're in contact.
Burner phones, probably. Yeah.
That's why he has to say E here.
All right. Baltimore activist wants to pay killers to stop killing. Why haven't we thought of this before? How about we give you some money and you stop killing people? Okay. Let's try that. An activist has presented this unusual proposition for Baltimore to lower the city's sky-high murder rate. Pay criminals not to kill people.
I'm a fan.
I bet you are.
I'm a fan.
I'll bet you are.
I'm a fan. That's not. I'll take your money.
Yeah.
And I'll say that I'm not going to kill anybody.
What? You wouldn't be completely honest?
It's possible that I still might kill somebody, though.
Well, if you can't take the word of a criminal to not kill after you've paid him off,
whose word can you take?
Whose word can you take in this day and age? Baltimore is the fourth most dangerous city in America, behind only Memphis, St. Louis, and Detroit in terms of the highest rates of violence. But this guy says, I've talked to shooters. I can relate to them.
Yeah.
And guess what they want? They want money. So that's his plan, to give them money, and they'll agree to stop killing people.
I mean,
why didn't we think of this before? It's so easy.
Pat Gray.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me take a minute and tell you about Omega XL. If you're dealing with pain, this is something that can change your life. It's Omega XL, where these omega fatty acids come from the pristine waters of New Zealand, and they are placed in a tiny little gel cap that's so easy to swallow. But best of all, once this builds up in your system after a couple of weeks, it has an off switch to inflammation. So it turns off the inflammation, and thus your pain goes away. It's backed by 35 years of clinical research. And it's not a drug. It's not something you're going to get all hooked on or dependent upon. And it really works. It eliminated the pain that I had in my elbow that radiated down the rest of my arm. It's a godsend. So to get you started, when you order one bottle of Omega XL right now, you'll get a second bottle for free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat. That's OmegaXL.com/Pat, or call 844-4888.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
It is. Huh. Wow. What a coincidence. I'm Pat Gray. That's Jeffy. And then Keith is at home, recuperating from his hip surgery. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
How's that going? Anyway?
How is that going, Keith?
I was hoping you would not ask.
Yeah, I understand there's some issues.
Yeah, it's very irritated. It's swollen. It's red. And it's elevated right now.
That means it's angry, and that means you need to get to the doctor and get something done about that.
Well, I did have a follow-up scheduled, and then Ice-Mageddon hit.
Oh, boy.
And so that got canceled. But a phone call is in order today without question.
Definitely in order.
It's a good thing there's no buildings around this area that are called, what are they called?
You're not talking about... urgent care.
Oh, yes,
are
buildings
you?
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for something that might be urgent,
or just something that says hospital.
There's
a few
several of those.
There's a few of those.
I've noticed a couple.
Not in Texas. There's nothing good in Texas. We've learned.
This must be the hospital capital of the universe.
It has to be.
There's like there is a hospital on every corner.
That is
in
a
Dallas,
great
Texas.
point. On my commute, as you're saying that, I'm thinking, There are
about 30 of them.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
just on your way in, right?
Yes.
Yes. That's not to mention the rest of the Metroplex. It's just on our drive in, there's about 30 hospitals.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Don't give me that. I had a follow-up visit that was canceled.
Right, because you could probably reschedule in about 3,000 different places. So, yeah, hopefully we're going to be pushing for you to get that done today.
Yeah, get it taken care of.
All right, we got some tweets here. Joe Biden's lost thought tweets, those plumbers are making serious bank right now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you're getting 200 calls an hour from people who must have you come out and take advantage of your service, yeah, you're in a good position there.
Oh, real good position. You're in a good position to just kind of walk around your neighborhood and pretend you're a plumber.
Yeah, all they have to do is show up in the neighborhood with a truck and you're in.
I can come in and inspect, but I need 50 cash.
I love how you
50 cash.
You've already seen the seedy way that you can
I'm
profit
helping.
from this.
Helping.
You're a helper. Yeah.
Jeffy is the guy who rolls up into a neighborhood after a hailstorm and says, I can look at your roof and I need that $50 and then we can work on a plan to get your roof fixed, and you never hear from him again. Or you take half. Jeffy takes half of the roof cost and you never see him again.
I love the guys too in the neighborhoods when they show up after that, and my favorite ones is we just put a roof on Joe down the street's house.
Right.
Every time.
Knowing that nobody, you don't know who Joe is.
Because you don't know your neighbors unless you're a gadfly like Pat.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did? Oh, my gosh, yes.
Not Joe Smith down the... Really?
Yes.
That one?
Yeah.
Because I don't have a neighbor named Joe Smith.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
You can't pull that.
He's
You
3
can't
houses
do that
down.
with
They
Pat.
can't do that to me because
Pat knows everybody in his entire neighborhood.
I'm flitting from house to house all the time, talking to my neighbors.
Flitting.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah.
You can't be had.
So, yeah, they love it too.
Yeah.
They love it too because I'm a really good conversationalist. From Joey Phillips, don't forget the best rover to ever rove is Karl Rove. But he's never roven on Mars.
No, that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of. Circling back for coffee, M. We better hope Biden is a one-term president, or Pat's going to completely ruin his voice doing Biden impressions. From I've seen your hernia. So, Pat, are you saying that Ask Jeeves has been replaced by something called Ask Whitey? Attack Yuki tweets, does anyone want to tell Joe Biden that people in his own age demographic are the ones who will need the most help with this whole entire net web thingy? Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
It's the 78 and 79-year-olds that don't know how to navigate, not minorities. Wow, he is.
And by the way,
out of it.
They are trainable. The old
minorities
folks.
Are or
no,
old folks?
No, old white folks. Minorities, no, you can't train them. No, my gosh, stop. No, I'm talking about old white folks. They are trainable.
That's a storybook, man. To think that they'd be trainable.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
I would love to see if Joe Biden set him down on a computer and say, all right, show me how to find the nearest Walgreens and book a time for the vaccine. He couldn't do that. Not at all.
No
way.
Yeah. Gen Y conservative. Yeah, Eric Swalwell and Fang Fang still share recipes, pictures, confidential United States government secrets, between friends stuff. Yeah. And Pat's Paisley birthday pants tweets, hey, Baltimore, why don't you pay people speeding tickets? Why don't you pay people's speeding tickets for them and make them promise not to speed anymore either? I'm sure Pat's a fan of that. Well, yeah, that would, right?
Wow,
Yes,
you'd
like
already
it.
have retired.
For sure. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Joe Scarborough has some words of scorn for all of us who have been scoffing at the fact that the Capitol riots were worse, not as bad as the summer of riots. He sets us straight here.
I know there are idiots on other cable news channels that will say, well, his mom and pop store was vandalized during the summer riots, and that's just as bad as the United States Capitol being vandalized. No, jackass, it's not. The Capitol of the United States of America is the center of American democracy.
Pause it. No.
Oh, no.
No, jackass. It is not the center of American democracy because America is not a democracy. But this guy is conservative through and through.
Oh, my
Through
gosh.
and through. Just a red-blooded, red state guy.
He loves telling us that,
isn't he?
too.
He does.
Loves telling us that, too. He always, even in this clip, he throws out the disclaimer.
Uh-huh. I'm as Republican as they come. I am conservative as the day is long. But these people, these awful people who compared the Capitol riots to one mom and pop store that got vandalized, he acts like there was one.
Yeah.
There was one. No, cities burned. Cities were taken over.
One taco stand owned by that Hispanic.
Yeah, I want Joe Scarp. Yeah.
People were killed. It's despicable. It's despicable.
Sure.
And by the way, nobody said that the Capitol building being vandalized like it wasn't a problem. I condemn those people who did it strongly, in the strongest possible terms. I really hate what they did. It's not what we do as Americans, as conservatives, and they really screwed things up for us.
Can we be against both, Joe? Is that possible?
Is that
Jackass?
possible? Right.
And I want him to go to the mom and pop store owners that lost their livelihood and everything they owned and all that they had invested their life savings into these stores, and go up to them and tell them exactly what you just said and call them a jackass for thinking what happened to them is worse than what happened in the Capitol.
Essentially, he's saying that's no big deal. It's not a big deal because they never talked about it. They didn't condemn it. Nope. Joe Scarborough wasn't condemning it every single day.
And look, he's all for capitalism.
Oh,
and
sure.
people starting their own business and everything. But
yeah, but come on now. We're talking about the center of American democracy where windows were broken. And some of the supporters of Donald Trump were killed.
We're talking about those.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's... The only person who actually was killed was a Trump supporter by police officers. The police officer who was supposedly bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher, we all know now that didn't happen. Not only was he not bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher, he wasn't bludgeoned by anything. In fact, he was fine when he left the riot and talked to his brother about being fine when he left the riot and returned to his office.
It's
amazing. And his family now says, have you heard this? Did you read about this? You see it in the paper today?
I haven't, Jay, but go ahead.
His family now says he died of a stroke. Mm-hmm.
You have I did not see that.
Where was that a month ago? The family's known that the whole time.
This is the same police officer, Capitol policeman who laid in state.
Yes.
Because of his death during the insurrection.
Yes. That's the same one. Had a stroke.
I don't know if he had the vaccine.
The same Capitol police officer that was a part of the force that now we have at least 6, I think, suspended for assisting in the siege, and 28 others under investigation.
Yeah. And in what way did they assist? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
We know?
Well, I know there's one video where the black police officer, I point that out because others have, waved in the racist white MAGA supporters, as others have referred to them, said, what did he say? He said, let's see, what did he say? I don't agree with it, or something like that, or I agree with the sentiment, or something. I don't know. And he just let him in. I mean, he literally just waved him on through. I forgot the exact quote that he had, but it was something like, "I understand it." Like yeah, I don't agree with it, but I understand it, or something like that. And let him walk right in.
Wow. But you don't hear about that from...
no, you do not.
From little Joe Scarborough and his morning cup of postum. You don't hear about that from him.
You do not.
What you hear is that the Capitol building was the center of American democracy, and we almost lost our republic that day. Of course, he didn't even call it a republic.
No.
But they act as if we were hanging by a thread that day. It's so overly dramatized. It's unbelievable to me that nobody stands up to him.
Nope.
And they act, on the other hand, with the riots all summer long, as if that was nothing. Nothing happened there.
People do what they do.
It's just exactly what Nancy Pelosi said. It's amazing. It's despicable. All right, let me tell you about something that is fantastic, and that would be Built Bar. These bars are really delicious, and they allow you to eat healthier food. If you want a snack during the course of the day.
I usually do.
Yeah.
I usually do.
These are such a great way to go because they've got 16 to 20 grams of protein, only 110 to 160 calories. So they're really healthy for you, and they taste great. They taste like a candy bar, better than your favorite candy bar. And they come in just a million different flavors. Things like caramel brownie, cookies and cream, raspberry, which I just had this morning because I didn't have time for breakfast. And it squelched my hunger on 110 calories. Awesome. I mean, just great. And then in the afternoon, if you don't have time to go to lunch and you're just starving and you want to just eat your face off.
I find myself waking up at 3:30 going, do I want to fry some eggs and have some pancakes, and bacon and sausage? No.
That's usually my thought as well. No.
Coming into work and having a
way too much work.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, do I want to eat all that? Yes. Do I want to do the work? No. And so I don't. And Built Bar is a great way to go.
Yes, it is.
Built Bar is the answer for you. BuiltBar.com. Use the promo code PAT20 to get 20% off your next order. Promo code PAT20 for 20% off at BuiltBar.com.
Pat Gray.
It's a right for people to have bad health care.
I'm sorry, what?
Brock and I think it's a right,
okay.
for people to have bad health care.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Okay. I'll see your true international to pressure and raise you a Batacath care.
Brock and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Speaking of which, got some tweets here, and this one happens to be from Batacath Care for Batahise. How are they going to determine who to... Oh, this is the Baltimore thing where one of the activists decided that, you know what we should do is pay people not to kill other people. So these are good questions. How do they determine who to pay for not killing people? Does there have to be a first offense? Or does everyone who doesn't kill someone get paid?
Yeah, you have to. You have to say you're not going to kill anyone.
Right. Or we have to know that you're about to kill someone, so we come up and offer you money not to do that.
Huh.
Right?
Okay.
Also, how long of a non-homicidal track record do you need to have to receive the funds? These are all good questions.
These are
great questions.
They are great questions. I don't think we're going to get answers, but they're great questions.
Can you believe the stupid things that come out of people's faces? I mean, I'm an activist in Baltimore, and I say we should pay people not to kill other people. What? How does that work?
Just throwing ideas out there.
You're just throwing, yeah.
I'm trying to help.
Man. That's all. We're just spitballing here. That's all.
It's the idea tree. No bad ideas here. Just throw them out.
There's no bad ideas, just bad people. You know? Yeah, I think that's
right.
That's what we need to go with. Crystal from Apocalypse USA tweets, I think Keith might be onto something. Since Biden doesn't know how to get online, he cannot fathom a minority doing things he can't do. That's probably true. From Jason, I live in Georgia and working in a nursing home, and all I've seen from the stimulus is Trump's $600 out of Biden's $2,000. Just saying. Yep. Yeah, right. The $1,400 hasn't come in yet, right? I'm not going to get the 1400 or the 600 or any of it. So but
the only thing that's come in is the 600.
Just the 600.
That's the only thing that's come in is the 600.
And that was the first thing he was going to take care of.
Right. And that was going to be 2,000, not 1,400.
Right. Yes. So it's a lie from the start.
Right.
And they lied over and over. We showed the montage yesterday of the two Senate Democrats
from Georgia
who promised over and over and over and over the $2,000. When we get there, we're going to make sure your $2,000 happens. Well, where is it? Let's have it.
The $1,400 is happening.
Right. Except it's not. At least it hasn't.
Right.
So where is that? From Data Warning, I have a bunch of experience with plumbing. Maybe I should head down to Texas and put in some time there, too. Well, yeah.
Heck yeah.
You would make a fortune right now if you did that because there's more work than the companies here can possibly do.
Yeah, no way. You have to. I mean, now is the time. I mean, there's plenty of companies that do that are, anytime there's big storms, and they move in.
Yeah, absolutely. From Saved by Grace, has Ted Cruz gone door to door and fixed all the broken pipes yet? No, the bastard, he sure hasn't. Sure hasn't.
No, he probably went back to Cancun.
Yeah, I'd be just like him.
I mean,
he hasn't. Yesterday, rather than being in my attic fixing my pipe, I had to pay somebody to come in and do it. And he's on his way back from Cancun. That's where he was.
My pipe burst. Where is Ted Cruz?
Where is Ted Cruz? Burst pipes all over Texas. Where's Ted Cruz? Cancun. There's an ad for you
below zero in Texas.
And where's Ted Cruz? Hiding from the cold in Mexico.
That will be an ad. That will be an ad.
Yes, it will.
There'll be some picture of him on a beach, you know, drawn
Absolutely.
or some cartoon, whatever. It'll be fake, and then it'll freeze over, and it'll say, while you were suffering and your family was fighting for survival, Ted Cruz was on a beach in another country. It's coming.
It is. He's up for re-election. 2022? So
I think 24, right?
Is it 24?
Oh,
because was it 2012 when he was first elected? So that puts him at 18 and 24.
He just was reelected. That feels like not too long
was
ago.
Was it 18?
This is math.
Yeah. Okay. So it must have been 3 years ago, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna find out right now.
Hard to believe 2018 was 3 years ago.
I know.
That's just mind-boggling, isn't it? Where does the time go?
Yeah. Ted Cruz is 24.
But I mean, he just beat Beto.
By 3 points. 3 percentage points.
Granted, I believe that he should have won, and he should have won wholeheartedly, no problem. And
absolutely, and I voted for it.
I felt like the closeness of that race was more to do with his reversal on Trump. And I think what Texas was saying.
No question.
You're so right.
Dude, we want you as senator, but you really made us mad here.
He pissed off everybody.
Yeah.
He made the Trump people angry because he wouldn't endorse him in time for the convention. And then those who were kind of proud of him for sticking to his guns and on the side, good. I didn't want you to.
Yes.
2 weeks later, he slapped us in the face.
So then now you've got the Trump people pissed at you because you're just giving in,
and you have conservatives pissed at you because you caved.
And that's exactly what he did here with the apology, as far as I'm concerned, with his apology to Cancun.
Yes.
And then the people on the left are never going to support him
ever.
His future is very much on the precipice. But that Cruz fandom that was upset when he gave in like that, like you guys were talking about, the conservatives that were on his side, that backlash is real. And that's why it was so close.
Oh, yeah.
With
Absolutely. Yeah, there were people who were like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Done.
Right. And if you get a competent candidate that can play the guitar on the left with, hit the notes, he's in trouble, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100% agree with
you. Don't
that.
mean better than this, though, do you? I mean, this.
Oh, no.
I'm afraid the show's going to be over before you get done.
We've got your guitar player right here. Am I right? Who's with me on that? All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Traffic and weather together every 9 minutes on the 6s. So we'll keep you informed on the weather.
We'll get you there.
It's going to be cold in Texas. Okay,
it's going to warm up today.
Going to warm up a little bit,
warm
though.
Up today.
That's going to feel pretty balmy at 40 degrees outside. On the outside, today. Everybody, good morning.
I will notice you do see, since I was out on the road this morning, I do see the difference in how counties take care of their roads. Tarrant County, the county which I live in, seems to be pretty good. Dallas County, here in Irving, Texas, that the studios are in, seems to not be as well taken care of.
Here's the thing about Texas. They don't do squat with the roads.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't ice. I mean, they don't de-ice. They don't salt. They don't sand. They don't plow. They don't do anything.
When I was driving in this morning and I finally made it to Dallas County here in Irving where the studios are, I was thinking to myself, look at these roads. Where the hell is Ted Cruz?
Thank you. With his plow.
Why are these roads like this?
If you can't count on a U.S. Senator plowing the roads for you so you can get into work safely, but where was he? Where was Ted Cruz? Cancun, Mexico.
Ted Cruz fled with his family to warmer weather.
Bastard. Vote any Democrat on Tuesday. That ad is coming.
You can absolutely.
You know what made it worse is where he's like, yeah, my daughters wanted me to go down there, and so I went and I came back.
Yeah, my family wanted to go someplace warm, so I said, hey, that's a good idea. Let's go. Thank you. We're done. I would vote for him again for that.
But then it turned out that they were going down there for the whole week, and so he was busted, and it made it worse. Where it shouldn't have been an issue to begin with.
No, it shouldn't.
It's like, dude, just say, I'm on vacation with my family. I'll talk to you when I get back.
Right.
Oh, madness.
You can't defend yourself anymore. And that's the only thing you should do is defend yourself and say, look, what are you talking about? I don't have any responsibility for the burst pipes or the weather in Texas.
I can't.
There's nothing I can do.
Plow the roads.
Right. Right. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, he should have known by now that his apology would not be accepted by the left. Nope, sorry, we're not interested. Let's see, we got some tweets here. Get off my lawn tweets. I don't blame Scarborough. That research would typically be done by an intern. And I understand he's having trouble finding anyone to be an intern these days. See, that's a Joe Scarborough killed his intern back in the 90s
that's a
reference.
Joke there.
Yeah, it is. And I like it a lot. So what Get Off My Lawn is saying there is that he suspects foul play involving the intern.
Really?
In Scarborough's congressional office.
Was there any evidence?
Well, I will say this. It is strange that a 26-year-old woman just fell over dead in his office for no apparent reason. The end.
Got the sniffles there.
I'm getting a little bit of a cold or maybe some allergies. I'm not sure.
End of the story.
He deserves it.
He sure does.
He deserves it.
Every inch of it.
Yeah, he does. Adam Lawrence tweets, regarding paying killers to stop killing, would it be on a prorated basis? Would they be offered 2-for-1 specials? We need to get with the activist in Baltimore and go through some of these questions and find out the answers.
I mean, I would take some painkillers to not kill people.
Would you?
Oh, paying. I thought you said painkillers.
Right, no.
But I'd make a deal for painkillers, too.
Painkillers,
okay,
right.
Never mind.
From Todd Curtis, doesn't the left understand that socialism is merely capitalism with just one owner? I'd never thought about it, but it's a good way to look at it.
That is an interesting way to look at that.
It's capitalism with just one owner, the state. It's your problem. Panther Blue, were the $2,000 checks a lie, or did the left have to instantly change their mind when Trump supported it? Because Orange Man bad. Good question. You know, had they learned that lesson, that if you treat him well,
time ago,
he will respond in kind, and he will treat you well. And he might even go along with some of your agenda.
That's been proven. Time after time. And tried to tell you from the very beginning, just like the guy.
Time
Whether
after
you
time.
do or not, just like the guy.
And speaking of time after time, I should probably mention here that when you're lost, you can look and you will find me time after time. Okay? Just keep that in mind.
Pat heads everywhere will have Cyndi Lauper in their head for the rest of the weekend, and they will think back to this moment and curse your name, Pat.
And you're welcome. Listen, we're going to talk really slow for the rest of the show for the minorities who might be listening in the inner city, urban areas, or in the rural areas. We know they can't get online. They don't understand things. So we're going to take the show really slowly for them from now until the end of the show.
That's an excellent choice.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, nice. We might do, slow it down for minorities Fridays from now on, in fact.
I like that.
Slow it down Fridays?
Yeah. Slow it down Fridays.
Yeah.
For the minorities.
For the minorities. In the rural areas.
Right.
And the inner city areas.
Should we use simpler words? I'm trying to go slowly. But do I also use really simple words as well?
As much as you possibly can. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
It's not that hard, Keith. Are you a minority in a rural area?
Or maybe the urban centers of our country? All right. Sports writer for a prolific LGBTQIA2+ media outlet said recently that Fallon Fox, who is who Fallon Fox is? Transgender female MMA
Do I know
competitor.
who Fallon Fox is?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, who doesn't, right?
Come on.
So Fallon was biologically born a male. Or I love the commercials that now say, there's a commercial, I think it's for HIV. It's an anti-HIV drug. And they say that it's not for everybody. If you were assigned female at birth, we don't know what this will do to you. I mean, that's how bent over backwards we are now. If I was assigned female at birth, they can't even call you a biological female. Is that amazing? It's so pathetic.
I was assigned male at birth. Where was Ted Cruz?
In Cancun, not even paying attention to Texans' birthdays. I love it. Anyway, this transgender female MMA competitor, biologically born a male, is, according to LGBTQIA2, some magazine it's Outsports. So Outsports says that Fallon Fox is, quote, the bravest athlete in history, unquote. What? For what? You're because you broke the skull of one of your female at birth competitors during a fight in 2014. Is that what makes her brave? That's unbelievable.
Well, it takes a lot of courage
to pound on women.
Yeah.
If you're a man, sure. In late January, Outsports contributor Sid Ziegler praised Fox's performance in the octagon and said that Fox is easily the bravest athlete in all of history. Ziegler wrote, she's been inducted into the LGBTQIA2+ Sports Hall of Fame. Did you know there was?
I did not.
An LGBTQIA2+ Sports Hall of Fame?
Wait, where is that? Do we know?
It doesn't say, but we'll have to look it up.
Oh, I'm looking it up right now.
We have to know where that is. We have to go.
Absolutely.
Here, hold on. Yes. It is.
Where is it?
Chicago. I am not taking that road trip with you gentlemen.
Okay, well, I'm flying there. Are
you? Yeah. With Ted Cruz? When you should be fixing pipes in Texas together?
Yes. She is an indelible part of LGBT sports history. And maybe most importantly, she generated conversations and opened possibilities for trans athletes in women's sports that will be felt for generations.
Brave.
So brave, so courageous. Ziegler also praised Fox for enduring a torrent of hate. I have literally, sorry, little Tom Brokaw slipped in.
Yeah.
I literally I am literally standing in Jalalabad right now. Literally talking about lesbians and transgender. Ziegler also praised Fox for enduring, quote, a torrent of hatred I have literally never seen targeting an LGBTQ athlete. My gosh. Why? What is the torrent of hate, do you suppose? I'll bet the torrent of hate is that, hey, that person should not be competing against women. I'll bet you that's the torrent of hate. I have not seen a single hateful word directed toward Fallon Fox, except that biological males should not compete against females. And right. I'm sorry, we're following the science here on that. So Fox is receiving.
But if you say something, I'm sorry, but if you say something against any of it, that's hate.
Yes.
Against any of it,
right?
That's hate.
And during a fight against Tamika Brents in 2014, Fox gave Brents a concussion and broke 7 orbital bones in her face. 7.
How many orbital bones do you have?
I don't know.
We're going to find out.
Seriously.
It sounds like, only 7. You make it seem like 7.
Sounds like a lawsuit, too.
And this in 3 minutes. The fight lasted 3 minutes. Jeez. At the time, Brents said, I've fought a lot of women and have never felt the strength that I felt in a fight as I did that night. No. Brents said she was not aware at the time that Fox had transitioned from male to female. That's despicable. If you don't even tell her what she's up against,
right?
That's despicable. And that seems lawsuit material to me.
It sure does. And for the record, there are only 7 orbital bones.
Oh, so she broke them all. Ouch. Yes, you could say that.
Serious.
And you did. Go ahead and say it again, because...
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, that's for 2 orbital bones. But what about a third?
Right.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah.
And the 4th,
ouch.
Certainly the 5th hurt.
Ouch.
I'll bet you the 6th was just about the time when she was about to say no, but definitely after 7, she's done.
Yeah. Once you get all 7, man,
you're done.
You're definitely
done. I mean, look, I could have kept going after 4 broken orbital bones, but
7.
At 7 I drew the line.
Yeah.
No more, please. Wow. The Post-Millennial recently reported that athlete Erica Newsom fought what ended up being her final pro fight.
I bet.
Against a ruthless Fallon Fox. Fox, a male-to-female transgender athlete, destroyed Erica Newsom in a Coral Gables, Florida MMA fight, during which she secured a grip on Newsom's head with her hands gripping the back of Newsom's skull. She then delivered a massive knee, bringing her leg up while pulling her opponent's head down. The blow landed on Newsom's chin and dropped her unconscious face first on the mat. I mean, that's just MMA, but the power and force of a biological man is going to be much greater than the biological female. It's just not fair. It's not right, and it's not hate to notice that it's not fair and it's not right. Really amazing.
I thought men and women were exactly the same, though. That's what I've been conditioned to believe, Pat.
Yeah, I guess according to the new science, yes,
I mean,
that is true.
It's not her fault that she was assigned a male at birth.
No, it's not. No, you're right. Good point.
Tried to get that.
Thank you.
Work that out. You're welcome.
Chap Jeffy.
Truly beautiful.
Thank you.
Eloquent and non-bougie.
I just hope that the minorities in the urban centers and the rural parts of the country understood what Jeffy was saying there.
Well, they didn't.
They did.
They didn't. We'd like them to, but they didn't, and they can't. So
I tried to talk slow for them.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. Real Estate Agents I Trust is Glenn's own company. And so his people have closely and carefully vetted all of these agents because they know that we're going to have to answer to you afterward. And so they've gotten the best agents rounded up in the entire country. These are people with great track records, people who have good marketing plans or great marketing plans. They know what buyers are looking for because they're selling houses all the time. These are experienced agents They're fans of the show, agents, and so you'll have a ton of things in common with them from the get-go. Now, from the day you interview them until the moment they sign on the dotted line, they're going to see you through that entire process. Same goes whether you're buying or selling. You can count on Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com. That's RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
We talked about the fact that the Biden administration is saying mandatory COVID-19 testing for domestic travel is an active conversation. So they really are considering having to take a test before you can travel anywhere. So,
yeah, but some of the airlines, I think, have already said that they're saying that won't be
that it won't be a requirement.
It won't be a requirement. So I mean, and when we talked about it earlier, I feel like it will be. Right. I mean, I think it's an inevitable point that we get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we had the big story that broke, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, where the restaurant worker in New York claims that she was fired because she didn't take the vaccine. And it wasn't because she didn't want to take the vaccine, but nobody cares about your excuses.
What was the reason?
She apparently, her and her boyfriend or husband were thinking about getting pregnant, and she were trying to get pregnant, and she was concerned because of the.
Were both of them going to get pregnant?
Yes,
because that is possible. Now.
Yes,
we know that.
And with instead of 2 but 4 shots on the vaccine,
right?
I mean that ups your chances to get pregnant.
That's true.
And I just saw that they're going to do a test, 4,000 women, to see the effect. They don't even know the effects on pregnant women.
Right, and that's what she was waiting
child.
for. And the company that she worked for, so sorry, take care.
Here we go.
So she believes that because she didn't take the vaccine, have a nice day. Now, there are plenty of companies out there that are saying it's not mandatory, but you know what? We're going to give you time off to go get the vaccine. And, in fact, we'll pay you to go get the vaccine. But it's not mandatory to work here. Oh, okay. Okay.
We're just strongly nudging you.
Right.
Remember the Cass Sunstein stuff? Never has it been more obvious than right now.
Oh, man.
And
I would like
when the nudging stops, when the nudging doesn't work, then they push.
Shove.
Then they shove. Yes,
and I want to know the process of employers. In other words, how do you prove that you got the vaccine? Is there paperwork? Is there something more? Because this is a black market that I would support fully. Jeffy, if you want to talk about a business partnership after the show, let's do that. But seriously, how do you go and prove that to your employer? And is that easily forged?
We need to see your papers, please.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And really, with the HIPAA laws, I don't know how you do it. They just have to believe you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they carve out an exception to the HIPAA laws, because a lot of times their agenda and their theories and their motives kind of clash with each other. Eventually,
really,
yeah, eventually that does happen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta say. If I'm in a rural area or in the inner city right now, I'm confused as heck with what you just said.
It doesn't matter because they're not listening anyway. They can't figure out how to turn on the radio or the television. And they certainly don't have access to the internet because they can't figure it out.
So we don't worry about it.
We don't worry about it.
All right.
Which begs the question, well, then why are you doing the show slower on Friday?
It does.
Again, do you see the conflict eventually on your competing ideas?
Sooner or later,
eventually, you're going to run into yourself. And we just did. It's great. All right, 888-900-3393. Anybody watching something good on Netflix or Amazon or
Downton Abbey?
Seriously?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you?
I've been absolutely binging that. And I ran a poll. Is it historical fiction or soap opera? And historical fiction won, and I was on that side until I got to season 2, episode 7, and now I'm convinced I am enjoying a soap opera, unfortunately. But
you do like it, huh?
Yeah, Downton Abbey. It takes me 10 years.
All right.
10 years to catch up with the rest of society, but yes, I'm finally watching that and enjoying it.
Yeah. All right. You know what I stumbled into just yesterday and just watched the first episode was Alias. Do you remember the show Alias with Jennifer Garner?
Yeah. Such a great show.
Such a great show. And there's like
Phenomenal.
5 episodes. This was back when they were doing 26 shows per season.
Yeah. There's a bunch of older shows where you go, they did 24 shows?
Yeah. Right? How is that
Season
even
1?
possible? We used to complain about 26 shows. Now it's like you're lucky to get 8. Shut up.
Yeah.
Right. Was this the first thing that we knew J.J. Abrams for? Right?
That's what I was thinking today. Yes. I need to check on that, but I'm pretty sure it is the first J.J. Abrams thing that went huge.
I will say, though, that I kind of, when I start binging a show and you realize, I'm really into it, and a middle episode was kind of slow, then I look to see how many episodes there are, and if it's past 8, I'm like, oh, God.
Okay. Really? Gentlemen.
No. Yeah, it's like, oh, no, there's 10. I got to sit through 2 more extra? Okay.
Really? You don't want more content?
I want more content.
Yeah. So,
for the seasons, though. For the season. It could be
while we're talking about binging shows, only 8 episodes, and J.J. Abrams and Stephen King did this thing. I think I've told you guys about it off air. 11/22/63.
Yeah.
About the JFK assassination and going back in time to try to stop it.
Yeah.
It's so good. You got to check it out. It's on Hulu.
I watched 3 of those and loved it. And then I forgot about it for some reason.
What?
I don't know what happened. But something interrupted my experience, and then I just forgot about it forever.
And you got a new WandaVision tonight, too, so you're good to go.
WandaVision is...
That is so good.
One of the most creative, interesting, fun shows I've seen in a long time. If you can get past the first 2 that are so weird and so different, and you can't really figure out what's going on if you're not a huge Marvel aficionado, just get through those first 2, and then you'll be hooked.
Yeah, my family and I are hooked on that. Yes, it's very good. Very good.
It starts out as if it's filmed in front of a live studio audience. In fact, it says that at the beginning of the show, filmed in front of a live studio audience. And then, like, the first episode was a 50s sitcom.
Yeah.
The second episode was 60s. Then it was 70s, 80s. I think then they did 90s. So really smart, really well done. In the middle of the show, all of a sudden they break to a fake commercial that also ties into what's happening and everything that's going on in the Marvel universe. Really fun. If you get a chance, check that out on Disney. One of the few things worth watching, I think, on Disney.
Not Mandalorian anymore, I'll tell you that.
Nope.
Oh, they canceled Gina.
Yeah, they did.
And her doll. No more action figure.
Yeah.
That hurts.
But she's going to do something with Daily Wire, right?
Yes.
Is she?
Yeah.
Cool.
She's going to make some new movie with Daily Wire.
All right. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. Hope your power's on where you are. And we will see you again on Monday.
I'm going to be looking for Ted Cruz. I'll tell you.
Pat Gray. Only on the Blaze Radio Network.